Kremenchuk, Poltava region. A missile attack on a shopping mall with over 1,000 civilians inside. The whole building caught fire. Rescuers immediately rushed to the site. It took more than 3 hours to fully localize the fire. Dozens of killed and wounded were taken out from the rubble. The number of casualties that were reported might still be growing. Rescuers are still working. Russia will be held accountable for everything, the Ukrainian Ministry of Internal Affairs says. A pre-trial investigation into the violation of laws and customs of war has already started. The case will also be tried as premeditated murder.
It is scary to imagine the horror that the Ukrainians experienced when they just came to get groceries. Here, look, do you see what a military facility it is? Do you see what was selling here?
President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky called the shelling of Kremenchuk one of the most brutal acts of terrorism in the history of Europe.
Вдарити ракетами по такому об'єкту можуть тільки абсолютно відморожені терористи.
Only total insane terrorists who should not have place on Earth can strike missiles at such an object. And this is not an off-target missile strike. This is a calculated Russian strike exactly at this shopping mall. My condolences to the families and friends of those killed in this terrible terrorist attack.
Early in the morning, Russia launched a massive attack on Mykolaiv. 11 missiles were fired at the city. There was a child among those killed.
3 погибших, 6 раненых.
3 people were killed, 6 people were wounded. A 6-year-old girl was killed, and a 3-month-old baby is in a coma. That is the story. Emergency crews are working on debris removal.
5 people were killed and another 30 were wounded as a result of the shelling of Kharkiv. There were 5 children among the wounded. Russia shelled residential areas using Uragan multiple launch rocket systems.
Один хлопчик 10 років.
One 10-year-old boy is hospitalized in a very serious condition and medical workers are actually fighting for his life. Every day we see missile attacks on the city of Kharkiv and the region.
Russian occupiers shelled the Sumy region more than 40 times with artillery. 1 civilian was wounded. And this is the city of Lysychansk. Russian occupiers shelled a grocery market. A shell also hit a crowd of people who were taking water from a tanker that was delivered. According to the Luhansk Regional Military Administration, at least 8 people were killed and more than 20 were wounded. Humanitarian aid cannot reach the city for 2 days because of constant shelling.
In addition to their constant attack on the city from different sides, they are also destroying it with artillery, aviation and constant shelling. There are already a lot of wounded and killed. The infrastructure is completely destroyed.
Russian occupiers attempted to break through to Lysychansk via the village of Pidlisne. The enemy managed to strengthen its positions on the south of the oil refinery. Russian troops also attempted to encircle the Ukrainian military in the Donetsk direction.
Противник не полишає.
The enemy did not give up its hope of taking control of the Bakhmut-Lysychansk highway. In order to identify the firing positions of our units, it conducted combat reconnaissance in the direction of Mykolaiv-Kaspirne and carried out an offensive in this direction. Ukrainian forces successfully repulsed all attempts and forced the enemy to withdraw. In the Bakhmut direction, it fired with artillery of various calibers.
The Ukrainian military managed to carry out powerful airstrikes on the positions of the Russian occupiers. As a result, dozens of armored vehicles, an ammunition depot and manpower were eliminated. The General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces also noted that the threat of airstrikes on Ukraine remains high and urges people not to ignore the air raid alarms. Reported by Roman Smoler, Alexander Belov, UATV News.